Yo, what's going down, everybody? It's your boy Josh, aka Coleman, and you are now watching ScaleWars, Axial's Battle of the Builders. Alright, you guys, so it is finally time to get into some ScaleWars action around here. I've held off long enough. We've got plenty of entries. I hope you guys will keep dropping them. We need you guys to drop these entries in order for this show to keep coming, so keep entering all those builds. I don't care if it's finished or not. If it's an Axial based build, enter it. Let's go ahead and get it on here. Let's get you guys reviewed. And you can always re-enter later. You can always resubmit once your build is at a further point. Or say you break it down, you rebuild it into something else. You can always re-enter over and over and over again. There's no limit on how many times you can enter. You can enter as many times as you would like, as long as you follow the rules. Some people have had some issues trying to fill out the forms and everything. Just a little heads up, when you guys go to put those photos into the, when you go to submit your photos, don't click on the photo submission thing and then try to add them one at a time. It works much better if you already have all your photos put into one folder. Label that folder Josh's RC build or Kevin's RC build or whatever it is, right? Project Hercules, whatever it may be, just label that folder and then drop that folder in as a complete file, just all at once. Anyways, that's just for the guys out there that have been struggling. Hopefully that'll help you out. So let's talk about how you guys are going to be judged first thing, because you guys need to know how I'm going to be rating your builds. Now, I want you guys to know this is all for fun. This is not like, you know, the Bible, all right? This is not like the Scale Bible. You don't need to do this, okay? It doesn't matter if you get a 20 or a 99. It doesn't really matter. The goal is just to have some fun with this, and hopefully it'll inspire you guys to keep upping the ante. I want you guys to keep pushing that bar up as far as you can. What I'm hoping to see is a lot of really scale builds, realistic builds. I want them to look so real that if I put them next to a picture of a real vehicle, I can't tell the difference, okay? Now, does that mean that you can't enter if your build isn't at that level? Absolutely not. Enter it no matter what level it is. That way you can see what people think. You can get some pointers. You can get some tips and tricks and maybe see what you've been missing. Maybe get some feedback that you might not have thought of on your own. So, doesn't matter what level you're at. Just go ahead and submit it with the goal of trying to get to the highest level you can. All right, first things up. We've got 10 different categories that I'm going to be judging these builds on. The first category is first impression. Just right off the bat, when I look at the picture, what do I think? Am I like, whoa, dang, what is this? Or am I like, okay, we've got a deadbolt. What has he done to it, you know? Do I have to look for those details, okay? Second thing we're going to be looking at is proportions. Okay, and by proportions, I mean in compared to real life, in my opinion, when I look at this thing, does it remind me of a real-life vehicle? Like, are the wheels and tires proportionate to the body, right? Does it look like this? You know, and even if it's a rock crawler, you know, are the tires 38s? Are they 40s? Or are they like some 68-inch unrealistic tire, right? Is it a trail truck? Okay, if it's a trail truck, is it running 32s, 33s? You got 36s on it? What are you running on it? Okay, so we're going to try to compare these RCs to real-life vehicles as much as we can, okay? Is the driver humongous, hanging out like an ape, or is he too small sitting in there and the steering wheel is as big around as his whole body? You know, you see what I'm saying? So when I pull the driver out of the truck and stand him next to the truck, is he going to be proportionate in size to the truck? You get what I'm saying? So it's all about proportions. Third thing I'm going to rate you guys on is body exterior detail. And that's the type of body, paint, detail, correct representation of the real life vehicle, things like that. Your body exterior detail. How detailed is it? Is it Lexan quality, like so, where it's got some bolt-on things, but there's still some hood pins? It's still got maybe sticker door handles on it, you know, molded in things, you know, that are not quite detailed, but they're kind of sort of there? Or is it like this, you know, where you have a movable three-dimensional mirror, a full three-dimensional handle with the button, you know, the little thumb button in there? Is the you know, like on this, I have a high lift jack. It's removable and it's actually functional. But it stays on there as part of the actual truck too, as an accessory for the truck. So just little things. Does your winch work, or is it like a replica winch that doesn't actually work but just looks like a winch? So that's important. Body interior detail. Basically the exact same thing, but on the interior of the vehicle. How functional is it? How realistic is it? Is it a Lexan molded interior, or did you somehow work out a three-dimensional interior? Does the steering wheel move? Is there a center console? Just little things, you know. Did you go as far as making the glove box open? I don't know. So that's what I'm looking for in interior detail. The fifth thing is going to be the undercarriage or the drivetrain detail. Okay, so when you flip it over and I look underneath the vehicle, what am I going to see? Okay, am I going to be like, okay, well, he focused on making the outside look good, so I can't tell from the outside, but when I flip it over, it's obviously an RC car. There's his ESC, there's the receiver, there's, the inside of the body, I can see everything. Or do you have, a nice underlying skid pan? Do you have inner fender wells? Do you have, realistic drive shafts, or do you have just tough drive shafts? Are the links realistic? You see what I'm getting at here? I'm looking for detail. I want detail. I want you to recreate real vehicles as close as you can, as much as possible. Doesn't matter how good you are at it yet, but I want you to attempt to do so. Sixth thing is going to be functionality. How functional is the vehicle? Once again, does the winch work? Do the doors open? Do the windows roll up and down? Does the back hatch open? Does the hood open? Do you have moving parts on the motor under the hood? What else could we talk about here? Do you have maybe a sunroof that opens? Do you have a stereo system? Do you have a sound system? You see what I'm saying? Does it smoke? Do you have a diesel and maybe the smoke, you have smoke coming out your exhaust? I'm looking for realistic details, okay? So how functional is it? Is it realistically functional? When you turn the wheel, does the guy inside turn with it, right? I'm looking for functionality, movement. Built versus bought, okay? And what I mean by that is what percentage of the build was built versus what percentage of the build are parts that you bought and bolted on. You see what I'm saying? Did you have to handcraft any parts on that build? Did you have to fabricate any parts on that build? Or did you buy the parts and you bolted them together, but you found your own unique way to do so? I'm looking for how much of that was built versus bought. Did you purchase a body and then modify it? Or did you hand build that body? Wiring and cover-up is going to be the eighth thing. So wiring and cover-up. How much did you hide the wiring? How good of a job did you hide the fact that it's an RC? When I look at it, can I see wires for your battery? Can I see wires going to headlights and things like that I wouldn't normally see on a vehicle? I'm looking for cover-up. How good is your wire management, your tough job, The ninth thing I'm looking for is originality, okay? How original is your build? Have I seen it done before? Did you take something I've seen before and figure out a way to recreate it and bring it on a whole new level that I haven't seen before? Did you come up with new paint schemes? Did you maybe come up with a new wheel and tire combination that no one's seen before? Maybe you created a body that no one's created before. You decided to build something like no one's seen before, right? You wanted, whatever it may be, okay? I know I've seen a Pinto out there. That's original. That's very original. You rarely see something like that. So how rare is your build, basically? How original is your build? The last thing is going to be my final thoughts. Overall, how do I feel about this build? Now that I've looked at it, I know all the details about it. I've had time to sit and think about it. Overall, what are my thoughts on it? What kind of, where does it sit on my 1 to 10 scale? Okay. And basically, that's how I'm going to go through, and I'm going to judge your guys' build. Also, so you guys know, it's going to be on a scale of 1 to 10. So you have a total of 100 points available. You can get anywhere inside of there. Chances are most people are going to get around 50 to 60 points is what I'm guessing. I don't know. We'll see. If you guys can get up in that 70, 80 mark, you're doing really good. If you can get up in that 90 range, you are on top of your game. So anyways, you guys, let's go ahead and get this started. Today we've got 3 builds we're going to go over, and I hope you guys enjoy this format, how we're doing this. Give me the feedback. That's what the comment section is for. Give me feedback. Give these guys feedback. Let them know what you think of their builds. I'm going to tell you right now, do not be rude. Do not be mean, okay? If you don't like someone's stuff, find a nice way to let them know that maybe you would like to see improvements in this area, or maybe you'd like to see some improvements in this area. If you want to give them a rating, a 1 through 10 rating, feel free to leave them a rating, 1 through 10, in the comment section. But no flaming people up, no lighting them up, no tearing people up, okay? This is not a show where we degrade people or we talk down on people. This is a show where we help build people up and try to show the world what the Scale community is all about. We're about encouraging this creativity, okay? This involvement. We want people to be active in our community, not be ashamed of our community, not be scared to speak up in our community. So if you have a build, please submit it. And if you're going to watch this show and you're going to be active with us, you're going to comment and leave a rating, do so wholeheartedly. Be honest, but at the same time, be polite. Okay, so let's get into this, you guys. Let the battle begin. All right, you guys, welcome to the very first episode of Scale Wars. We are totally winging this, so just bear with me. This is a completely new concept for me, and I just hope we can get it all dialed here in the next couple of weeks. So, all right, very first thing we've got going on is we're going to just jump right into our first submission. This is Brian Walls, and he is a local here from my area. He is 25 years old. He's out of Redmond, Oregon. And it looks like he's been subscribed to Extreme Scale Performance for around 2 years now. So big thank you to Brian. I really appreciate it. And this is his truck. He calls this Pete, is what he named this truck. It is a Axial SCX 10 based rig. Lots of custom parts going on, he says. Let's go ahead and just glance through his photos real quick and take a peek at what he's bringing to the table. So first things first, I want to go ahead and mention, as some of you guys are noticing, these pictures are pretty small. Try to get the largest size picture, the largest megapixel you can, okay? The bigger the picture, the better the quality is going to look on video. So it's really going to help me to pick out those details if I have a nice, crisp, clear picture. So this really does look good on cell phone, but once you put it up on a bigger screen like so, you're going to have some issues with the pixelating. So first glance, my first impression is this thing is pretty sweet looking. It definitely looks like it can go places. There's a whole lot of tires sitting here. Those look to be 1.9 Axial 8-hole shooters, which is a factory Axial bead lock. That's pretty sweet. It also looks like these are most likely the 1.9 Proline Super Swamper TSLs, the XL size possibly. They look pretty big, and that's also one of my favorite tires of all times. Got them on the yellow Jeep. The body, let's see, I'm not sure what the ERTL cab, it's custom built, or the rest is custom built, he says. So I'm not sure what this is actually off of. I'm not familiar with that term ERTL, but it's pretty cool looking. It's a little small, so you lost some points in proportions for sure. Just when I'm going for that super realistic look, this is not giving me that immediate realistic look. It looks more like a fun toy, a crawler built to have some fun with, which is kind of, that theory is reinforced a little bit by the drivers. You can't really see him, but he does have them listed as Space Lord Rocket and Groot for his driver and passenger, which shows he's got a real, sense of humor. He's a lighthearted guy, which I can attest to from hanging out with him. He's definitely a fun guy to be around. So underneath here, you can kind of see some of his custom work he's got going on. Wild bore drive shafts, but they're customized. It looks like he's got 2 long ends, instead of long end and a short end, which is probably helping with his longer length here. As you can see, he's got some custom links going on. He also has a custom MIP shaft in the back to help clear that distance there, which is pretty cool as well. Looks like a normal upper part, and then he made this lower part himself. And I like how he went skinny with it, just because it's going to be the part that's dropped down in the rocks. You don't want a whole lot of meat down there. He still has, let's see, factory shocks, factory axles, it looks like.
Factory C-hubs and steering knuckles, it looks like. He does have upgraded links all the way around though, so that's pretty slick. Let's go to the next picture here. This is a top view here. It looks like you can see his custom bed work. He definitely got his lines nice. Real nice on the paint job as well. A couple of issues there, but definitely good job. It's just overall, it's a pretty fun looking truck. Let's kind of run through a couple things. The stance is a little redonkulous, and I think that's mainly due to the fact he has his shocks mounted directly to his chassis, just straight up and down, which is really lifting that back end up. I'd like to see it tucked down a little bit. You can usually angle the shocks inward, forward, or just run shorter shocks to make that happen. I know a lot of people run cantilever, but I'm not a fan of cantilever normally. However, with a truck like this is more of a imagination type build. It's not really a super realistic build. You can see he's got looks like a little plant in the back, and it's just definitely something he did for fun and just to go out and have fun on the trails. It's not here to win the realistic competition, but that is a cool rig, man. Shout out to Brian for entering this. Here's a nice look from the back. You can see some of the work. And I really wish I knew if this was metal or not. I think this is a metal frame that he's got welded in here, and plastic, maybe Lexan or something that he used to go over the bed. Looks really slick. I like it a lot. It's definitely cool. I'm not sure if I've seen this one out on the trail personally, but I know that he's local, so I'll probably be seeing it here pretty soon. That's a cool shot of the front. I like that. Let's see, what does he have for electronics in here? He has an Axial 35 turn motor with an Axial AE5 ESC, a Spectrum servo is what he's running in there, and a Spectrum receiver. Let's see, anything else I'm missing here? He classifies his build as a trail/crawl truck, and that's about right. You know, he uses it for crawling and stuff like that. It's definitely cool. It's something, you know, maybe you'd see out in the country somewhere, some crazy guy out in the country with big parts and an old semi would put together, maybe, you know. Let's see. Maybe, I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. However, I do not think it's the most realistic thing out there. I would like to see some more realism personally. But great job, Brian. It's awesome. Thank you very much. You rate your truck an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10, which shows that you really do take pride in your work, and I can appreciate that. So, job well done. Let's move on to the next build here. Go ahead and see what we got going on. Alright, you guys, the next person we have up is Mike Langton, and he is out of Chula Vista, San Diego. He's 28 years old, and it looks like he subscribed to Extreme Scale Performance last month, so he's new to all this stuff here, at least new to my channel. And so yeah, he didn't really give me a whole lot to work with here, and I wasn't even going to include this as a submission, honestly, but I think this is a great opportunity to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about with the submissions here and why it's important to kind of follow the rules in how you submit, because I really cannot control what pictures you submit. You could submit anything, and it really, you know, if you're serious about getting on here and you want to make sure you get on here, it's very important that you submit the correct pictures. So going through these real quick, I'm just gonna touch on this real quick, and this isn't to bash Mike at all. We're still gonna try to do what we can here for him. So let's see, what year did he start building RCs? He started building RCs 10 years ago, it looks like. The project, he calls it a G6 Tribute, which is pretty cool. If you like Recon G6s, that's awesome. I am all about the Recon G6 too, so I've filmed plenty of them, and I've competed in plenty of them, and they're definitely fun. So shout out to you for tributing to the G6. Let's see. We're gonna go ahead and start with the parts list, because this is, well, that's the first picture here on the list. He sent me a picture of his skid and his transmission, which I'm not entirely sure why he did that. That'd be fine if this was like an extra photo, you know, you did the required 10 and then you submitted these as well, but he didn't submit the correct 10. So this doesn't help me too much. It does show me that you're using an Axial trans and stuff though, so I'm super stoked on that. It shows me that you are following the rules with your build in the fact that it is Axial based, and I do appreciate that. It also shows you do some custom work here, it looks like, which is pretty cool. Let's see, as far as parts go, complete parts list. Let's see. He's got a Wraith cage, bomber skid, SCX-10 trans. So here's his bomber skid, SCX-10 trans, I'm assuming. SSD D60 axles, the new Castle 3800 kV censored system with the Mamba X. Let's see, and he classifies his build as an Ultra 4 trail rig, and he rates it a 9 out of 10. A very confident gentleman here. He's all the way at the top of the scale, he thinks. So we're gonna go ahead and push through this real quick. Here's some more pictures of it, which is pretty slick. I do like that. Some nice work there. What do we have now? Did I just get 2 pictures? Okay, so he sent 3 pictures of that skid set up there in transmission, and then we go into the next one. This is it installed, I'm assuming. So he's very proud of this transmission. That's what I'm getting from these pictures here. I also see his Mamba system there. Nice job. The wiring is not so nice though. You did use a zip tie or 2, but the wires are still pretty loose, pretty messy here. Not too bad. I mean, there's a little more you could do on that. I would recommend personally trying to keep your sensor wire and everything loose is a great idea. You don't want to put too much tension on this, but what I would have done personally is I probably would have looped these around and brought them and hooked them down here at the bottom with the sensor wire, then ran them up along here. Would have really made it a little bit cleaner look. Maybe if you brought them loose, folded them down underneath and then up like that, would have looked really nice, I think. And it shows you have the room probably to do it here, the space to do it. And then yeah, I would just tighten these wires up a little bit. You got a lot of excess here. You could probably loop up, zip tie up a little bit. There's different ways you can do it. Maybe loom it. So that I would tighten that up just a little. It looks like the transmission, everything is nice and solid though. I really like that tranny, so I can see why you're proud of it. Let's go to the next picture. There's what the truck looks like. So that's a good looking truck. I like that. Are these the incision rims, I'm thinking? Or methods? Let's look at his parts list again. I'm not seeing anything about wheels or tires here, so it looks like those are the new Proline higher axes, the tires there, and the wheels look like the incision methods, if you ask me. I'm pretty sure those are the incision methods. Looks like he's got, what kind of servo is that? Does he say? He doesn't say with the servo. I can't tell. It's blue, which makes me assume it's like possibly a Traxxas waterproof one, or like a, yeah, I'm not really sure which waterproof one that would be. I can't really see what's going on inside the wheels there or anything here. I still see wires exposed here, and this wire actually looks like it's got a cut in it, so you might want to keep an eye on that, because yeah, that's a power wire, not a ground wire. So if you hook that on your metal somewhere in here, you could have a problem. Tires look brand new. It doesn't look like you ran them actually on this, so maybe a little bit. There's a little dirt on there, but that could be from your bench. Let's keep going. Is that all we got? That is all we got, I think. No, okay, there's more here. Here's from a side. So you do run it. Look at, there's lots of scratches here. He's got some cool suspension work done. It looks like he's got some options for his suspension mounting for sure. And you can see that this is definitely set up for U4. You can tell he tried to keep it lightweight. He does have some interior action going on. I'm not sure what that's out of off the top of my head, but I know those are popular in U4 racing. Yeah, it's pretty slick. It looks pretty slick. It's basically like, a 1.9 Wraith. Is kind of what it looks like. It's definitely cool looking out on the trail. I like that. But the problem is you didn't send me all the pictures I was really looking for here, so I don't have any way to really see what all is going on in here. I don't know if you've got anything going on back in these axles, what kind of C-hubs or knuckles. There's just a lot of stuff I would like to see that I can't really see. There we can go. Now I can see these SSD axles at least. Looks like you have some maybe Vanquish lockouts. I can't really tell what those are from here. I'm assuming those are like some VP lockouts. Does it say on here? No, it doesn't really say anywhere. So it's very important to list the full list of the specs, you guys. These pictures are a lot better than the last ones that Brian submitted, though, as far as size and quality. So shout out to you on doing that. Just make sure you get the correct pictures in there, guys. I know there's a lot of things you're really proud of, and you can always submit extra pictures. That's perfectly okay. I don't care. You can submit up to 20 if you want to. That is perfectly okay. But that doesn't guarantee you any more time on here. It doesn't mean I'm actually going to go through all 20 of them either. So, oh, and there's the final picture right there. I almost skipped a picture. That's my bad. So it looks like he's got another one here too. Maybe he'll be submitting that one as well. In there we can see that front end. We can definitely see there's aluminum C-hubs there, aluminum knuckles. He's got aluminum horn. Yeah, he's got some things done here. It's not a bad rig at all, and I'm assuming since you race it and since the tires are dirty here, that you probably, it's probably pretty tough. I mean, you got to build a tough rig if you're going to go out and run Ultra 4 with it. So, nice rig overall. I really like it. I think he did a good job, as far as an Ultra 4 rig goes. I wouldn't expect to see much in the way of a hard body anyway, so yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad at all. Alright, you guys, so here is our third and final submission for today. We're going to go ahead and just sit on this picture for a minute. Just take that in. That's pretty slick. That's cool. That's what I like to see, you guys. This is what I'm after. Now, of course, I'm going to nitpick a little bit, and I'm going to go through and tell you guys what I don't like as well, but right off the bat, initial impression, well done, man. You're on the right track. This vehicle belongs to Todd Norton out of, let's see, he's out of Napa, NorCal. So shout out to you, fellow West Coaster. Let's see, he is 50 years young. He has been subscribed to Extreme Scale Performance for about 6 months now, so he's a new subscriber. Thank you. Welcome to the family. Appreciate that, Todd. Let's see, what year did he start building RCs? 1977. Most of you guys, including myself, were probably not even born at that time. So that is awesome to see gentlemen that have been doing it for that long, watching my show and participating in ScaleWars. Thank you very much. I'm honored to have you. Let's see, project name. Does not have a name. He just calls it a Toyota LC70 because that's what it is. Let's see, his complete parts list. It looks like he actually laid it on me here. So this is an Axial SCX10 chassis, a Kyosho velvet shock set, so in the front anyways, with cantilever setup in the rear. So he's got the same Kyosho shocks front and rear, I'm assuming. I don't know, we'll take a look. I'm assuming they're different because those cantilever shocks are usually shorter. So we'll take a look underneath in the chassis in a minute. Let's zoom in a little bit here. I just kind of want to look around at this. This is pretty slick. I like this a lot. What else has he got going on here? He's got quite a bit. Vanquish Stage 1 kit. He's got trans housing and spur cover, links, and 8-degree knuckle weights. So he's got a lot of Vanquish stuff on there. Standard plastic axle housings with beef tubes and axial over-under gears. I like your style, man. I like your style. He's definitely going for performance on this as well. Not just with the strength parts. He's got some good parts there from Vanquish, but he also has some performance parts in there. Those 8-degree knuckle weights. That's pretty slick. The standard plastic axle housing shows that he cares about how easily his truck slides over the rocks. Beef tube shows that he cares about keeping that low unsprung weight. Yeah, awesome, man. I'm all about beef tubes. I'm all about plastic housings. Like, well done. He's got the over-under gears, so it shows he knows how to gear his truck for traction. Well done, well done. What else we got going on here? He's got hot racing steel trans gears, super shafty 6mm outputs, Robinson Racing top shaft, and an MIP 6mm set of drive shafts. Let's see, his electronics are Holmes Hobbies 3100 kV Puller Pro, Holmes Hobbies Trailmaster BLE ESC, and a Holmes SHV 500 servo. He's obviously been watching my Holmes Hobbies motor control series. Let's see, he's got a Javin Racing battery plate. His lights are 5-inch Vanquish light bar. He's got Axial simple light kit and Fry's Electronics LEDs for the rock lights. Okay, so nice job, man. and those are all controlled by a OK setup, he says. So he's got a KMS 220 ounce servo winch controlled by a OK setup as well, and Boom Racing 1.55 cruiser wheels on 1.55 Pitbull growlers. His engine compartment is a SBC engine with various Axial parts, which I can kind of get a glimpse of already just from this first initial picture. Can't wait to see the rest. Let's see, what else has he got going on here? And he's got various Axial parts on there, which is really cool. The colors are Toyota blue, flat black, and a water-based red and silver. The build classification, to him, he classifies this as a... Whoop. There it is. I made my words disappear for a minute. He classifies this as a trail/rock crawler. And if he were to rate his own build, he would rate it at a 7 out of a 1 through 10 category. So I gotta say, I am fairly impressed, man. That's how I like to see things submitted. So for anybody that's watching this right now and you're thinking about submitting, you haven't yet, or maybe you already did and you're wondering if you should be resubmitting, this is how I like to see submissions done. Lots of information that I can go over that was very detailed. So bonus points to you just for you paid attention. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. So and he's 50 years of age, which shows me that, you know, there's no excuses there, buddy. That's awesome. You're with the program. And all right, so let's get on with this. Let's take a look at what he did here. Let's see if all those parts came together nicely. First things first, though, I gotta say, I've got two complaints right away. One is, where is your mirrors, sir? You have no mirrors here. Now, I understand it's a trail truck, so maybe you took them off, but I still like to see those mirrors on there. Second, I love your skid here, but it is blocking your door from opening. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll be corrected. Maybe it's cut right there and I just can't see it, but it looks like it would be blocking the door from opening in real life. So I would want to see either the door modified or maybe this trimmed down a little bit or bent out at an angle to where the door would still be able to open. Just nitpicking again, but that's first things first. There he is. There's Todd. Shout out to you, buddy. Thank you very much for sending in the proper picture. That proves to me that this is your vehicle. All right, let's keep going here. And here is his driver's side shot. I like this a lot. Once again, you know, the no mirror thing bugs me a little bit, but I do like this. He went as far as putting a diesel sticker on there. He's got his side markers. Everything is in there. Really slick. I would have liked to see these two screws here painted black. Would definitely help out a little bit. Just a little pointer. Very nice, very nice. I like this a lot. Let's keep it going. And you can see there what I was talking about, how the door drops down below this where you wouldn't be able to open it. Just nitpicking, but that does bug me. All right, interior, nice. He's got a full dash, which I think does come with this body. I could be wrong. I have the body myself, but I haven't put it together yet. I like that he's got the drill sitting in here. I know you do have to make your own seats, and you do have to make your own like floor pan and stuff like that. So he did come up with something, so you did get points for the effort there. That is awesome. However, I would have liked to see a little bit more realistic work here. The seats are just fine. You did, because you can put any seats in these old pickups, but I would have liked to see some more depth here for the passenger side, which I have a feeling you're probably hiding electronics in there or something, which I understand. And I saw also, go back to that picture here, there's no mirror on this side as well, so just pointing that out. Here's the underside, which I like to see. Looks pretty good for the most part. I see you have lockouts, lots of rock rash on there, which shows me this truck gets used. I do like to see that. But I do like this a lot. He's got some MIPs I can see here. I can see his custom body mount setup here that he did. All his light wiring. I would have liked to see. So this is just a tip, okay? I'm going to throw this out there for you guys that may not know this. I know this. Some people would be like, you know, whatever, it's amateur, but All right, so when you get this all done like this, something I like to see, especially in the beds back here and stuff, is this wouldn't be this color in real life. This would be all dark. It'd be black, gray, brown, dirty, mucky, greasy, you know, old faded paint. It'd be dark no matter what. It'd be definitely dark when you look under here, not light. So something I like to do is I just tape everything off and I go under and literally spray my undercarriage with flat black. Works great. And then you can go through and add some rust in certain areas if you want things like that. It's all going to get beat up and dirty anyways, so then it starts to look really good over time. But some flat black will really hide a lot of that. I paint the wires and everything if they're going to be visible, and it just hides it. I'm not a huge fan of cantilever suspension systems. I almost feel like it's just taking the easy way out. In real life, you don't see cantilever on these trucks. You don't see cantilever on really a lot of anything. It's super rare. Really what you would see on these would probably be, I could be wrong because I'm not a Toyota guy, but I'm assuming these would be leaf sprung and you'd have some shocks either going inward or backwards maybe, or forwards, but they'd be nice short shocks. So I would go for some short shocks, maybe leaf spring it in the back would look really sweet. What else? I can see your BEC in there. I can see some rock light action. I definitely see all this going on up here, these big old knuckle weights and stuff. That's really cool. I like that. Let's go to the next picture. Let's see what we got going on. And I like your skids too. Good job on that. Let's go ahead and keep it going here. Nice side shot here. Just a good profile. I like this a lot. The wheels and tire combo looks great on there. I know a lot of people hate on Boom Racing, but I gotta say they did a pretty cool job bringing these wheels out. The tires, Pitbull 155s, you just can't go wrong with those. Those are pretty solid tires. I can see the Axial logo back there. I like to see Axial logo. I can see the Holmes Hobbies logo. Shows me that you're using some nice quality parts there for sure. Yeah, it's just overall, it's a good truck, man. I don't want to spend too much time on this. It's our last one, but I like the scale accessories are really cool. I did see something in one of the pictures with the scale accessories I was not too much of a fan of. And I'm going to get to that right here. And that is that you have stuff mounted basically where it can't ever move. You wouldn't see that bag of charcoal sitting right there on the trail. It would be, you know, wedged in somewhere or in a bag, you know, or maybe just thrown in there floating around possibly. But you just have things in really random places, you know, and I would like to see that a little bit more realistic, like how you'd see it in a real truck. So the toolbox would probably just be thrown in, you know, like right here somewhere. This bag of charcoal would probably be behind the seat or maybe even like wedged in by the cooler, maybe in the cooler if you could fit it. This, I see how you would have these mounted to the bed, so that's a possibility. However, I don't think I've ever seen it in real life, but I do understand the theory behind that, so you can flip the bed down and then work from the bed. But other than that, it's really cool, man. I really like it. You did a great job. Again, maybe painting the hardware black would help a lot too. Just, yeah, little things. There you go. You can see with the bed down. That's, yeah, see, that makes sense. I get that. However, I would just try to move a couple of things just for a little more realism. And under the hood, nice job, man. The SBC stuff looks great under there. I'm familiar with the guy and his work a little bit, but I have not had any. I met him at Axial Fest and saw some of his work. Great stuff. So this is awesome. I like it a lot. The proportions are great. You did a good job, man. Overall, this is the best truck of the first episode for sure. So no doubt about it, you definitely took the cake on this one. So, all right, so with that being said, you guys, if you want to see the scores, go ahead and go to the Extreme Scale Performance website. All the scores will be posted after each episode is posted, so you'll be able to see who won right down there below the sign-up form on the ScaleWars tab on Extreme Scale Performance website. So thank you guys very much for watching. I really hope you enjoy this new series. It's something completely different. It's way, way, way out of my norm. But I feel like this is a great opportunity to give you guys the spotlight a little bit. Give you guys feedback. Just, you know, let you know what I think about your rigs. And also gives everyone that watches and everyone in the community a chance to get inspiration, ideas, give some feedback of their own, maybe some tips and tricks of their own. And in general, it just gets us all together, kind of like at Axial Fest, but through the internet. You know, it gives us a chance to all interlock and have some fun and work on our axials together and just, you know, really up the bar a little bit. So anyways, give me some feedback on what you think about this series, what you'd like to see improved, where you'd like to see it go in the future. Me personally, this truck right here, this is what I'm after. I really like scale builds. You know, give me the realism. It doesn't have to be a trail truck. It can be a U4 rig. It could be a rock bouncer. It can be a rock crawler, a semi truck. You know, whatever you're into building, as long as it's axial based. Like I said, rules are on the website, and go for realism. I want to see proper proportions. I want to see lots of scale detail. I want to see that extra effort dumped into them, you guys. And like I said, it doesn't matter what level you're at, go ahead and enter. So big shout out to our 3 entries today, you guys. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day, out of your life, to show me what you've been working on, to show the audience what you've been working on, and just to be a part of this whole movement here, this whole lifestyle thing that we're doing. And anyways, you guys, I've been wanting to do this anyways for a long time, to give back to you guys, and I don't know. I hope you enjoy this. Anyway, I'm going to quit babbling. I'm going to get up off here. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. I will see you on the next episode. Peace and chicken grease. Yay.